All right, praise the Lord. It's November the 16th, 2025. Randy Lamarck Screen Jr. here with another word of meditation for you today. It's coming out of Luke 9, 12th to the 20th chapter. We're going to highlight on the 18th and the 20th, okay? Got to move fast because I only got 3 minutes. All right, so we talked about Matthew and Mark, the accounts of him feeding the 5,000. Here we see the other account in Luke. Luke, let's give some context. Luke is a researcher. So everything that you see is his perspective after research and questioning eyewitnesses. Luke was not one of the disciples. Luke was not there. This is Paul's a companion after all of this and one of the pillars of the church. This is part of a two-part letter that he wrote to a gentleman named Theophilus, speaking about Jesus and the gospel: birth, life, death, resurrection. We're in one of the accounts of his life when he fed the 5,000. Now, some little more context. Just before this happened, Herod was questioning who this guy is, because why Jesus was healing all these people. And he was afraid. Why? Because he thought John come back from the dead, because he just executed him. And they even speculated if it was Elisha or one of the prophets had raised from the dead. They didn't know. So highlighting 18 and 20. In 18 and 20, this is when Jesus is alone. He prays and he turns to his disciples and he asks, hey, who do men say that I am? And they respond and they say, some say John the Baptist, some say Elias, some say another prophet has risen. In other words, they were saying what the King Herod and his people were talking about. And then he asked Peter, who do you say that I am? And Peter stood up and said, thou art the Christ. Do you understand what the Christ is? The Christ had been foretold that God would come in the flesh. Emmanuel, meaning God with us. Emmanuel, meaning God with us. That's who he is. Not who he was, it's who he is. So as you go on your day to day, understand this. And this is just a little side note. They challenged him for healing. They challenged him for raising the dead. They challenged him for casting out demons. But they never challenged him for feeding folks. I find that very odd. But let's get to the point. The word of meditation for today is this. Do you perceive Jesus as who he is? Because remember, it's not what would Jesus do, it's what did Jesus do. And it was all good works for the whole human race. May the Lord bless you today, and you have a great one. Peace.